Complete that freezing order.
Such a cold day throughout much of the country today, and that also included the western United States. Very chilly day today in the west, and now we're watching a storm that is heading toward the northwest, and that is going to mean some snow. And we'll get into the details of that in just a minute. I do want to point out this storm as it's heading toward Washington and Oregon. It's still offshore, but already we're beginning to see some of the moisture. Also wanted to point out, look at this moisture streaming in across the Baja of California and Mexico. That's headed over Texas and the southern plains, and that is posing some problems this evening in that section of the country, and we'll tell you a little bit about that as well. For the most part, though, high pressure has been the dominating force in the western U.S., and with the clockwise wind flow around the high, that has pulled in Arctic air and then pushed it back toward the west coast. And so temperatures right now along the immediate coastlines of Washington and Oregon are down below freezing, and so that's why we are seeing the snowfall as the moisture has continued to increase in the northwest. Currently 28 in Seattle, Stampede Pass reporting 4 degrees, 26 Portland, Eugene also at 26, and then, well, we're still around freezing right along the immediate shoreline. So just about anywhere we are finding any sort of precipitation, it is coming down in the form of snowfall, and it's been light snow. But we should see by sometime tomorrow that onshore flow kick in enough to warm the temperatures up above freezing, and eventually it'll turn it back over to rain. But you can see right now around the Sound and points northward, a little bit of light snow. Now down into California, it's been cold as well, just precipitation free. 28 currently in Sacramento, 26 Merced. San Francisco's up above freezing at 36 degrees. And into Southern California, we're also quite chilly, 49 San Diego and 44 for Long Beach and Burbank in the 30s at 39 degrees. So some very cold air, and tonight with the clear skies and the light winds, we're going to see those temperatures getting down to freezing or below freezing for a period of time. That's why we have these freeze advisories. So if you have plants that may be sensitive to freezing, bring them inside, or if you have to leave them outside, throw something over them to try to help retain whatever heat there may be and keep them from getting frostbitten. Just a little bit of advice for those of you who probably don't have to deal with this all that often. All right, well, aside from the frosty conditions, we also have some earthquakes to report to you. In Southern California, near Hemet, we had a tremor that registered about 2.6. And then as we head into Northern California, around Tom's Ridge, we also had a tremor that reported around 3 on the Richter scale. The Northwest was quiet. We did have a couple of tremors reported in Alaska near Talkeetna and Pedro Bay. Both of those were around 3 on the Richter scale. Now, as far as the rest of the country, overall, just everybody is having to deal with this Arctic air, but where that Arctic air is in place And we have the moisture overrunning that Arctic air. That's where we're finding the problems, from Texas through Tennessee on up into the mid-Atlantic, the Northeast. We're also seeing some snowfall there. Here are our current readings, just to prove to you how chilly it is throughout the entire nation. The only exception really is Florida, where right now it's 69 in Tampa. But we're talking 46 degrees around New Orleans and 36 degrees near Houston. And temperatures in the single digits and down below in the upper Midwest and the northern plains. So just bitterly cold out there. We'll be watching the lower Mississippi, the southeast, the mid-Atlantic into the northeast for problems tomorrow associated with frozen precipitation. With the cold air at the surface and that warmer, moisture air over it, we're seeing some freezing rain and some sleet and a little bit of snowfall, not so much in the way of snow. So here's the situation Thursday morning. No movement really of our precipitation here in the eastern United States. In the northwest, there's that front getting ready to move onshore. What does that mean for the commute? Well, in New York, in Philadelphia, and D.C., some snow, some ice, could make some slippery traveling conditions. Atlanta should be above freezing, that's good, but not the case in Memphis, not the case in Dallas. Those people will certainly need some extra time traveling around. Upper Midwest dry for the most part, but very cold, as temperatures will start off in the single digits and below. And for those of you in Seattle and Portland, you'll be looking at some snowfall come tomorrow morning. So give yourself a little extra time as you're heading on into the office. Expect the rain to linger throughout the day in the northwest, at least along the coast, and expect the snowy, icy conditions also to persist here in the south. Whatever precipitation we see will generally be light, but all you need is a light coating of ice or a light coating of snow or sleet to cause the problems that we're concerned about here. However, the snowfall more substantial in the northwest, where we'll find snow amounts around 3 to 6 inches or so. There's a look at our morning lows. Again, a bitterly cool day for much of the country as we head toward the Christmas weekend. And here's a look at the afternoon highs. Not much change. So bundle up. That's a look at the conditions around the country from west to east. Now, it's time to do some planning for some traveling that you might be doing. Here's a look at some city forecasts through the weekend.
Record because all of last